there is something incredibly beautiful about this panel that Carl Hooker put together this morning. And if every tech event that we went to approached how we do things in this manner, we wouldn't have to have this conversation. So I want to take a moment to get personal with you. Do you mind? I'm going to talk about what diversity is and what it is not and what it means and why it matters. There's something completely powerful about ideas, experiences, gender, culture, race, especially when we talk about how we prepare our students to be citizens of this lovely world that they've inherited. When we typically go to events, our panels look the same. It's one group of people, one gender, one race, the experts, the greatest in the field. But what about the rest of us? The women, people of color, people of different backgrounds, age, education. What do we bring to the table, and what does it matter, and how does that impact our schools? The reality is that when I go to a place and I only see one type of person, that can leave an impact of maybe I'm not able to do what it is that maybe that one type of person is able to do. Is that the message that we really want to give to the kids that we teach? There also comes a time when we choose to speak up about it, and we should. You absolutely should. But as I've learned this year in my Twitter DMs, the messages I get back are almost as interesting as the ones that I give back in response. I've been told now at least 5 or 6 times, diversity is not one-dimensional, Rafranz. We have women. That should matter. And to that I say, diversity is also not 1 in 50. The reality is that who we are influences how we think, and how we think impacts the decisions that we make. I've been a part of too many leadership teams that have made decisions on the backs of kids without kids having any impact, or things just put into a teacher's classroom without a teacher even asking for it, wanting it, or frankly understanding what that box was that showed up. We have the power to change that, but changing that requires thought and action. Think about this for a second. Kids every day are playing games. They're creating stories, and maybe they want to do it in a character, in the image of themselves. But they can't be a girl or a character of color without paying an in-app purchase. Take a look at my son in his hooded sweatshirt and pants hanging at his hip. When he walks into his classroom, he's seen as a thug. And then he's told, put your device away because we don't trust that you'll make the right decision. If he were dressed in a polo and pants pulled straight up, maybe in a different shade of whatever, would that question even be on the table? He's surrounded by peers that when he told them, I don't want to play football anymore, I want to do computer science because, oh my gosh, robotics is cool. You know what his peers said? That's stupid. The only people that do computer science or that even go in that building are the white kids or the country kids, not you. Thankfully, he's strong enough to not take that and has decided to do the exact opposite, because right now, kids like him view smart, view techie, view anything related to being outside of who they may have been programmed to be as an appropriation of whiteness. And he's decided, I'm going to change that. So why do all of our voices, their voices, matter? I think about my daughter, who has been programmed and told, your job is to stay on the sideline and be cute and cheer, not lead. That's somebody else. Or the young child who a group of decision makers will decide you cannot have a device because we're afraid your dad might take it and pawn it. So let's think about what our kids see and what they think. And I love this image of our kids coloring eggs for Easter with reckless abandon as to what color goes where and how they do it. If we all thought about that and we thought about how we could be better engagers of thought and ideas, their futures, their lives, and who they believe they can be will be so much different than who they are. The bottom line is, you can't leave something like diversity up to chance. It has to be intentional. It has to be the acknowledgement that I matter, you matter, everybody does. Now let's talk about how we can really make a difference in the lives of our kids and take into an account who they are and what they bring to the table. Because the bottom line is, they will be what they're allowed to see.